Did you know that people used to record every financial transaction by hand? Imagine the time it took. In the pre-digital age, financial record keeping relied on cumbersome ledger books. However, they can be time-consuming to maintain and lack the flexibility and analysis features of modern spreadsheets or accounting software. Imagine accountants meticulously writing down every transaction by hand in rows and columns. Spreadsheets revolutionized this process by bringing these ledger books into the digital world. With spreadsheets, data entry became faster and more accurate, calculations were automated, and complex financial analysis became accessible. In this YouTube channel, mainly we are going to focus on Google Sheets as the spreadsheet software, and from time to time, other softwares such as Microsoft Excel and LibreOffice. Now, let's dive into the world of spreadsheet software and explore how it transformed financial management and data analysis. First, let's take a look at our software, which is Google Sheets. Google Sheets, a powerful spreadsheet software, offers a user-friendly way to manage finances and analyze data. It allows you to enter data quickly, automate calculations, and collaborate with others in real time. To start using Google Sheets, you need a Google account, which you can get for free, and you don't have to download and install any software into your computer. Everything is in the cloud. If you don't have any Google account, you can simply visit google.com and click on Sign In button to the top right of the screen and click here to sign up for a new account, or you can visit gmail.com and click on these buttons here and here to sign up for a new account. Alright, after having your account at Google, go to your Chrome browser and sign in with your new Google account, and when you open a new tab, you will see these dots next to your profile picture to the top right of the screen. When you click on those dots, you will see a list of apps provided by Google. Each Google account comes with an online storage called Google Drive. In order to access your Drive, either click on this icon or type drive.google.com. This will take you to the main page of your Google Drive, and each free account at Google comes with a 15 GB of the storage capacity. In Google Drive, besides the capability of storing your own files, all your Google Sheets files will be stored in this online storage. In order to make a new Google Sheets file, there are several ways. First one is right-click and select Google Sheets. Second one, go to this new button, click on it, and again select Google Sheets. Third one is go to these dots again, and from the list of apps, select Sheets. And finally, open a new tab and type sheets.new. Okay, so when we open our new file, Google Sheets file, we will see this user interface. And as you can see, we have rows on the left and columns on top. And each intersection point between these rows and columns is called as a cell. So let me zoom in a little bit. In order to do that, I press and hold Control key or Command key on Mac, and press plus key on my numpad. In order to zoom out, again press and hold Control and hit minus key. This will zoom out. So those cells can store any kind of data, such as a number or a text or a date or a formula. Briefly, let me tell you that each formula starts with an equal sign and it is followed by the name of the function. for example, sum, to find the total of this value in a data set. And after we type the name of the function, we type opening parentheses and type all the arguments or parameters required by the function itself. And after that, we close our parentheses to complete the formula. We will cover this issue later. So when you open the new Google Sheets file, the first thing you want to do is to rename the file. Let's write my first spreadsheet. As you can see, there is no save button in Google Sheets because in any changes, Google Sheets saves automatically. And after this brief note, I would like to talk about the sheets or tabs in a file. In each Google Sheets file, you can add numerous sheets or tabs into your file. For example, I added another one, and you can double click on it and rename these tabs as well. For example, expenses. Or we can type revenue. Or we can add another sheet and recall it as customers, and etc. If you click and hold on any sheet, you can also drag it and change its location or place. And also, if you click on this arrow, you will see another menu pops up. And besides renaming, copying to another location, or duplicating or deleting, you can also change the color so that you can color code your sheets. For example, this is an expense sheet, so we can make it in red, and let's change the color to green for revenue, and for customers we can change it to, let's say, blue. Okay, let's make a sample data here. Let's make a simple table to show our monthly payments for our utilities. So let's write description here, and for the expenses, let's do it for January, and let's type the utilities here: electricity, natural gas, phone, water and sewer, and internet, and etc. Well, for these utilities, let's type some numbers or figures. For example, $125. Natural gas, make it like 110. Phone, $65. Water and sewer, $95. And internet is, let's make it $75. In Google Sheets, it has an autofill function or feature, and that means that, for example, we type January here. If you come to the right bottom of the cell, you will see that the mouse cursor will turn out to be a plus icon. And when it's in this form, click and hold and drag it to the right. You will see that it will automatically fill the other month and expand the range. We can also do the same here. Let me show you. Vertically, like this. It also recognize, if you type the full name, it will also recognize this pattern and fill out in that way. Same thing also applies for the days. For example, Monday. Let's copy like this, or we can expand it horizontally. We can also type the full name of the day. Again, it will recognize it. and copy in that way. Also make it horizontally. And finally, let me show you when you write some numbers like this and highlight these two cells, again come to the right bottom of the cell and drag it down. As you can see, Google Sheets figures out the pattern between those two cells, first two cells, and then copy the data down by adding 1 in each cell. If you apply another pattern like 1, 5, so it will understand that we are adding 4 for each cell, so it will copy down the data by adding 4. You can also do this for decreasing. It will also figure out that the data should be decreased by 4 in each cell, in each copy itself. So after this brief information, let's continue to our data table. So for electricity, it is a variable cost, so it can be different in each month. Let's say this one is in February. This one will be like $130. And in March, it will be 135. So it will see the pattern again, and we can simply drag it to the right till October. Natural gas also have a pattern, let's say, or let's assume, and it will be like 113, then 116, etc. So we don't have to fill out all the cells in that. Instead, we can simply expand it to the right. But phone, usually this kind of utilities are provided based on a subscription or a fixed plan, annual plan. So we can say it will be 65 in each month. So in order to copy and expand to the right, we simply expand it like this, drag it like this. Because there is only one cell, Google Sheets simply copies that data into each cell that expanded. So water and sewer, this is also a variable cost, and it can have different cost in each month. For example, in February, let's say it is 100, and again let's expand it until October. And internet, just like the phone, it is also based on a subscription, annual subscription, or a fixed plan. So we simply expand it to the right. Now we have our table, but in order to make it look nicer and more aesthetic, let's do some changes on it, on the table. For example, first, let's border our table. After you highlight the entire table, you see we have the borders tool here. So let's click on it. First thing is to decide on the color of the table. For example, let's make it blue, and then the thickness or the style of the border. As you can see, there's a very thin line, and then a thick line, and the thickest line, and also dashes, dots, or double line. So let's make it this thick one, and for the outer borders, let's put this blue and thick one. But for the headers, let's make another line like this one and change the color to black. Only we want to put the border at the bottom of those cells, so we click on this one, bottom border, it says. And for the rest, also let's put another border here to the right of those cells. So we come, because we have made the selection before, it copies until we change it again, so we can use the same border style and color. So we click on right border, and we put the border at the right of those headers. Now for the other cells, let's make it dashes just to make it different. And for the color, let's say this red, and we simply click on these inner borders. So as you can see, we just try to make it look more nicer. Of course, you can choose any other color according to your taste. But anyhow, we can right now differentiate the information accordingly. Also, just like any word processor, Google Sheets also allow you to align the text. For example, let's align them center horizontally like this. Also, we can make it bold and increase the font size. This one also, let's also increase the font size and make it bold. We can also align it vertically. And if we want to resize these columns, for example, I want to make it smaller. So in order to do that, first way is I place my cursor between B and C column and click and hold and resize the column that way. The second way is click on this column B and then the menu, and it says resize column. So you can type any number to adjust its size or width. If you want to apply this width to all columns so that it will look more consistent, and so that we highlight all the columns, and then we simply resize them, and it will automatically resize all the columns at the same width. Similarly, we can do the same for the rows. Suppose we would like to increase the height of these rows. So after selecting and highlighting, we can also increase the height of the rows. Remember, I had told you that we can also align the data in cells vertically. So let's make it center again, or middle, so it looks better. Also we can change the number format in a cell. In order to do that, again, we select and highlight at the cell or the range, and then come here, more formats. It says plain text or number, and for accounting measures, or for financial or currency or date, etc. Because these are costs, so we will format as currency. With these tools, you can also decrease or increase the decimal places. For example, right now, I increase the decimal places to 4, or we can simply remove the decimal places from our numbers. And one more thing that I want to cover today is that we can also freeze the rows or columns. What I mean is, for example, we have more data. Let's copy them down a few times, like this, and like this. So if I want to scroll down and see the remaining data, as you can see, I cannot see the headers. So if we can freeze the first row, it will help me to understand which data or which category I am looking at. So for example, now I know that I am looking at April and for natural gas. Or here it is for September and for water and sewer utility. So like the same way, we can also freeze the column like this, And if we go to right to left, again the first row is fixed or frozen. If you want to freeze more than one row or column, what you can do is to drag this handle to anywhere that you want. For example, right now we have frozen the first 3 columns. In other words, column A, column B, and column C, they are frozen. So if we go right, as you can see, these 3 row columns are fixed. Likewise, if you would like to, sorry, this is for resizing. Yes. So if you drag the handle for freezing under the row 3, then first 3 rows are frozen and the other data is scrollable. We can also access this feature from this view menu, and under view menu you will see the freeze item, and instead of dealing with this handle, we can simply, for example, click on row 5, go to view, freeze, and click on up to row 5. Then the first 5 rows are frozen. Or click on here, go to view, freeze, and columns up to column D. And as you can see, the first 4 columns are frozen. In the next video, we are going to talk about the basic calculations and formulas to be used in Google Sheets in order to manipulate and analyze the data. So thank you very much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one.